here's what we got going on today, right? So Jake just went to the store. He's getting some stuff ready for dinner. But we're gonna touch bases on this here engine. We're gonna end up doing some work on it today. It'll look nothing like this when you guys are finished with it. What we're basically gonna be turning this episode into, or whatever you wanna call it, we'll call it a series. It's gonna be the tear down. It's where to take things off, how to take them off, and really getting this thing down to the short block. Now, when I say short block, this is what I mean. A Subaru motor is a boxer motor. What that means is it's horizontally opposed. The pistons go this way. Most engines go this way, or if you have a V configuration, they would move in, alternate directions that way. But this motor being a boxer style motor, it's an H4. When I'm talking about the short block, I'm talking about from here to right about over there in that nastiness. That's what most people are talking about. And then of course, the infamous thing that we're gonna be touching on is this right here. That right there is your head gasket. You can really get in there. So the head gasket is what we are gonna be working with. And that's what we're gonna be taking off today. Hopefully nothing is stuck on, and we'll be able to just get this timing cover off, get this crank pulley off. We'll start taking the timing belt out of this timing cover, getting everything off of the engine. We have to still get the exhaust off because of how rusty this car is. This heat shield here wouldn't come out friendly, and Jake already started cutting some of the heat shielding out of the way. So we'll have to get creative with this one in a little while to get this header off. Eventually we'll also be taking the oil pan off, and up top we have to work on getting the intake manifold off, and that is a little cumbersome. We will get it. It's just, it takes a little bit of finesse because Subaru included some additional covers on the fuel rail. So the fuel rail is actually hiding right inside of here, and then you have your covers coming from the outside like that. Also got to get this turbo off, and we also need to disassemble the secondary air pump. And this is one of the biggest differences in the 2.5 motor that came in this vehicle. In any vehicle that has secondary air pump, you'll also have a pipe that diverts the exhaust gases back into the intake tract so that you can maximize on emissions. So that's all going to be taken off, and I'll get back to you guys when Jake gets here. We're also going to have the whole gang here today. The full squad is going to be here. Okay, so we're here with Jake. We also got a special guest. We got Cory in the house. Ha!
Hold on.
Nice.
Before we get into anything, right, I gotta teach the kiddos something. So if you look right here, as you get older, stuff starts getting dirty, and you should clean that right there. You seen that? That's what happens when you don't clean yourself. So remember, kiddos, clean yourself.
Stop it. Get some help.
So as you can tell, we're gonna be diving into this motor here and start taking everything apart. We're finally ready, we're good to go. Jake's here, Cory in the house is here, and we're gonna get this popping off. So as per the recording style I've had so far, we're gonna put you down on the time lapse. We'll get everything tore down. Also, let me give you an update on tools that we're gonna be needing today. I do have those laid out, and it can be informational if you want to know what kind of tools we use. So right over here, next to our beautiful filming station, anything for you guys, we have a regular 3/8 drive socket set. We got an assortment of ratchets here. So we have a couple of 1/2-inch ratchets, which we're going to be using to take apart things like the crank pulley, head bolts, things like that. We also have the gun in case the bolts don't want to play nice and we stop asking questions. And then we have our power ratchet so that we can maximize our efforts. So let me put you guys down for that time lapse. Here we go. Okay, we're back. We are back. So the way we're starting this here, just so that you guys get an idea, is we're going through any electrical connector that we can see. We are going to be disconnecting them and taking them off of the engine wherever they go. Reason for that is we're taking this intake manifold off, and the wiring loom for the engine on an EJ motor is attached to the intake manifold by a couple of 12mm bolts underneath. And to access them, it's very difficult without breaking all of this wiring and plastic. So we're disconnecting all of these connectors that we can see right now. And that includes your coil packs, that includes your TGV housings, which are right over here. It's also your AVCS controller, so this does have intake cam AVCS on both sides, so it's similar to a VTEC system or a variable valve timing system. That's what it is. So we're gonna do that, but now the last few wires that we need to access are going to be this one right over here, and there's one in the back as well. That's gonna be for the fuel injectors. We can't get to that until we take some of this covering off. That side is already off. This side, Cory's working on it right now. So it's gonna be a few 12mm bolts, and then this metal cover comes out, and we'll be able to actually get to the last few connectors. So let me put you guys back down, and we'll come back once this intake manifold is off. Okay, so update from where we were in the last clip. Right now, we've disconnected all of the connectors. The harness is free and ready to go. We have to take apart 8 bolts that are holding the intake manifold and the TGV housings to the head. The bolts that we're going to be reaching are going to be right over here, so this is going to be one of them. We have 2 of them down in the middle here, and then we have 2 more towards the back side of the intake manifold. And then once these are off, and we get them off of both sides, the intake manifold is gonna come out. Over here, we also did take off the turbo inlet hose. It's a little tough to get a look in there, but let me see if I can squeeze this way. Yeah, so you can see that worm clamp there. We took that off so that we can pull the turbo inlet off of the turbo and keep it moving with what we got. So on the next clip you guys are gonna see is probably gonna be this intake manifold out of here, and let's get to it. And just like that, we're back. So intake manifold was giving us a little bit of a hard time. We made light work of it, we got it out. It's currently sitting on the bench there. We're basically gonna be now taking off all of the things that are kind of in our way. So we're gonna get these crossover tubes out of here. We're gonna also start taking off the oil lines for the valve cover and for the AVCS. We'll get all that stuff taken out. And then Jake is gonna be wiping down the intake manifold chambers so that we can tape this off so nothing falls in there. We don't have to worry about the valves being stuck or anything like that. We're just gonna preventatively block those off so that nothing comes out. Then we'll start taking some of these other hoses that are kind of laying around. We'll get this turbo off. That's gonna be the next order of business after we get the lines out. And then once that's done, secondary air pump comes out. We can spin this thing around, go all the way to the bottom, and then we'll start working on that exhaust manifold. So let me lay you guys back down. We got the whole gang now. We got Nico over there in the corner, Jake, Cory, and maybe later on tonight if we have some time, we'll do a little video between all of us. We'll do a short video. We'll make it raw, no edits, and we'll just post it on the channel so you guys can get to know who we are and what we're doing. So stay tuned. Yep, so dinner was delicious. We're leaving Jake's apartment and we're headed back into the cold. So, comparison to yesterday's video, which you guys will see, this is not what it looked like yesterday. But we still have all of the beauties out there. Got Nico's car dumped out in the snow. A few of the things that we're gonna need to do today to finish off this video with a bang. Unfortunately, I'm missing some of my cam tools. They're at my buddy's house. I still have my crank sprocket tool, which is right over here. That's the only thing that we're waiting on to get the cam gears off. Once we have that off, then we can take the head off. But for now, we're gonna pick up where we left off here and finish taking apart the engine. Right now, the last few bits that we have is the secondary air pump and the exhaust manifold. So those are the next 2 orders of business. Once that's done, then we'll be done for today. So we'll get one more time lapse for you guys, and that's gonna wrap up this episode, or this part to the series. There you have it, people. We've got the engine tore down as far as we are going to take it today, until we can get the cam gears off. Then, you know, it's where we have to stop. In order for us to get the head off, down here inside of the actual cavity, you have the head studs there, or head bolts, I should say. They're right over here. There's 6 of them holding each head on, and we can't take that off until we get the cam gear out of the way, we get the cams itself out of the way, and remove the cam caps. So from right now, this is where our stopping point is. So on the next video, what you'll see is what we're gonna do is cleaning, right? So we're gonna see how we clean off the pistons, how we clean off the heads a little bit, get them ready for the new head gasket to come in. And Jake is going to be going away out of town next week, so unfortunately this is going to take a break for about one delay of a week. So hopefully we can get back to you guys soon. I appreciate all of the support that we've received so far, and this is just the beginning. We keep saying that, but it's really it. This is only what we're starting with, and there's much more to come. So if you guys can leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and we will catch you back on the next part of this build series. So we've moved upstairs, got the whole gang down there in the living room, getting ready for our little watch party. But right now, we got this here chef making us some wonderful food. He's gonna be making us some chicken Alfredo. Mr. Andrew, what do we got here?
Just some chicken breasts that I'm deboning.
Deboning this chicken, huh? What did the chicken do to you?
Looked at me funny.
I'm just taking a look at those things in the background right there.
Oh, what? Those them there chicken breasts? No,
Nah, them cinnamon buns right there. So yeah, we got Andrew. He's the chef. We'll get a little bit into what he's got going on or coming up soon in a later video. But for now, we're just gonna get this going and say hi to everyone. Cory suffocating Linnea. No questions asked there. And we have Jake and Nico, and we're about to watch the first video right there. Stay tuned. Getting a little family dinner night right now with all the homies. Nico's in the kitchen doing his own thing.
No, he was taking a food.
There's the chicken broccoli Alfredo we got right here. Some homemade garlic bread as well. We're eating good tonight. Don't you hide your face. Look at that her. Look at this man.
Look at this man.